Today we are going to see about the unit 2 core and cladding losses in signal dispersion and its intersymbol interference part. Core and cladding losses. The core and cladding have different refractive indices because they are having different composition. Therefore, core and cladding have different attenuation coefficients, which is denoted as alpha 1 and alpha 2. Here we are having the two types, that is step index fiber and the graded index fiber. Let me see one by one. Step index fiber. So in the absence of mode coupling, the attenuation coefficient for mode PF of the order V, M of step index fiber is given by alpha V, M is equal to alpha 1 P core by P plus alpha 2 P clad by P. That is, P core means power in the core and P clad means power in the cladding. P means total power in the fiber. So P core by P and P clad by P are fractional powers carried by the core and cladding. So for lower order modes, the power relations between the core and cladding is given as P core by P equal to 1 minus P clad by P. By substituting the equation 2 in the equation 1, we will get alpha V, M is equal to alpha 1 into 1 minus P clad by P plus alpha 2 P clad by P. That is, alpha V, M is equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 2 minus alpha 1 into P clad by P. So the total loss of the waveguide can be found by summing over all modes weighted by the fractional power in that mode. Next, graded index fiber. For a graded index fiber, the loss is expected to follow the variation of refractive index along the radius. So accordingly, the loss at any distance r from the axis of the core can be written as alpha r is equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 2 minus alpha 1 into n squared 0 by minus n squared r divided by n squared of 0 minus n2 squared, where alpha 1 and alpha 2 are the axial and cladding attenuation coefficient of GI fiber respectively. So n of r is equal to n1 into 1 minus 2 del into r by a the whole power alpha the whole power 1 by 2 for 0 less than or equal to r less than or equal to a. For next one is n1 into 1 minus 2 del the whole power 1 by 2 equal to n1 into 1 minus del equal to n2 for r is greater than or equal to a. Here alpha defines the shape of the index profile. So the overall attenuation at a particular graded index fiber is alpha gi is equal to integral 0 to infinity alpha of r p of r into r into dr divided by integral 0 to infinity p of r into r into dr. Next we are going to see about the signal dispersion. So the dispersion of the transmitted signal causes the distortion for both the digital and analog transmission along the optical fibers. So dispersion is the spreading of signal over the time. So an optical signal will get distorted at its travels along the fiber. This distortion will due to intramodal dispersion and intermodal delay effects. So the term dispersion will refers to the spreading of light pulse as it propagates through the fiber. So it will result in the intersymbol interference and also limits the information carrying capacity of fiber. There are two types of signal dispersion. They are intramodal dispersion and intermodal dispersion. First, intramodal dispersion. Intramodal dispersion means it refers to the dispersion or spreading of the pulse that occurs within a particular mode, and it is generally found in all the types of fibers. Intermodal dispersion. So it means it is caused by the time delay between the various modes to travel to the destination point. So this is found to be present only in the multimode fiber, which will support more than one mode to carry the optical power, and it will delay is caused by the time difference between lowest and the higher order modes. So it is also found in the single mode fiber because it supports only one mode. So single mode fibers generally suffer from special type of dispersions called polarization mode dispersion. Next one is intersymbol interference and its bandwidth. So in optical communication can be either in analog or in the digital form of transmission of optical signal. So in the analog form of transmission, the intensity of the light is allowed to vary only in the continuous with respect to the information signal. So the digital optical communication, which is achieved by transmitting the coded signals, that is ones and zeros, in the form of optical pulses of finite duration, that is a bit period. Okay, so this intramodal and intermodal dispersions will affect the transmission of optical signal in case of both the analog and the digital transmission of optical signal. So this analog optical communication will contains the signal to noise ratio, and it is available at the optical receiver and restricts the bandwidth in order to maintain the desired signal to noise ratio. So in case of the digital optical communication, a light pulse will broaden and it travels along the fiber. So this pulse broadening will cause the overlap with neighboring pulses and make them unrecognizable. So this is called as the intersymbol interference. Next we have to going to see about the bandwidth distance product. So the information capacity of an optical waveguide, which is usually specified by bandwidth distance product or bandwidth length product in the megahertz per kilometer. So the information carrying capacity that can be determined by short light pulses which will propagating along the fiber. So the length of the optical cable will increases, the bandwidth will decreases in proportion. For step index bandwidth, the distance product is 20 megahertz kilometer, and for the graded index it is about 2.5 gigahertz kilometer. Next one is bit error rate. So the error in the digital optical communication, which is used to measured in the terms of bit error rate and is measured in terms of number of errors which is included in the given bit stream. So to maintain the stream of BER, the rate at which the pulses are transmitted through fiber, and it will avoid the excessive ISI. This is called as the bit rate. So here bit rate will be defined as the number of bits transmitted per second. So the bit error rate and the signal to noise ratio are also related to each other, and the exact relationship mainly depends on characteristics of the channel, that is fiber. So BT is less than or equal to 1 by 2 TB. So here we are sending that BER is equal to number of bits in error or total bits transmitted, or wrong bits per second by data rates in bits per second. So it will be denoted by 1 by 10 is equal to 0.1. So here we are going to see about the Gaussian pulses. So consider the optical channel that will disperse the optical pulses to Gaussian shape with a variance of sigma squared. So which is equivalent to RMS width of sigma. So the Gaussian pulse can be mathematically expressed as P of t is equal to 1 divided by root 2 pi exponential of minus t square divided by 2 sigma squared. So width of the pulse in the time domain can be obtained in the convenient way, and it can be easily seen that t is equal to plus or minus root 2 sigma. So that is P into T is equal to plus or minus root 2 sigma divided by P of 0, that is equal to 1 by E. So the width of the pulse will be tau epsilon is equal to 2 into root of 2 sigma. Okay. So next we are going to see about the 3 decibel optical bandwidth. Here in order to find the 3 decibel bandwidth, of the optical pulse, we have to find the Fourier transform of the Gaussian pulse, which in the term of time domain. So first we have to apply the Fourier transform for Gaussian pulse in the time domain, which is expressed in the equation 2 as P of f is equal to 1 by root 2 pi exponential of minus 2 pi squared f squared sigma squared. So that is equal to P of 0 exponential of minus 2 pi squared f squared sigma squared. So from the equation 5, the 3 decibel frequency can be obtained as P of f is equal to f 3 decibel by P of 0, that is equal to 1 by 2 is equal to exponential of minus 2 pi squared f squared 3 decibel, that is sigma squared. So f 3 decibel is equal to root of ln 2 by root of 2 pi sigma, that is equal to 0.187 divided by sigma. So from the equation 6, we can find out the optical bandwidth, that is B is equal to f 3 decibel, that is equal to 0.187 divided by sigma, that is equal to 0.2 by sigma hertz. So when we are comparing the relationship between the bandwidth and the bit rate in a non-return to zero code, the bit rate can be expressed in the terms of bandwidth, that is Bt is equal to B. So in a return to zero scheme of digital coding, the maximum value of the bit rate is Bt max is equal to 2B. Thank you.